Alright, let's talk about the dangers of listening too closely to your general banker. You know, the teller, the one you go into your local, for example, Wells Fargo over in America or Swedbank in Sweden. There has already been done a lot of videos in this topic, for example, by the Plain Bagel over in Canada, Ben Felix as well, covering how the general banker, the teller, will try to sell you their own funds in a lot of cases, make you put the money into a fund with higher management fee. So that's already well documented. But what about the general advice part? What you can expect when you show up and ask a bit more than just an admin question? Well, I did just that a few weeks ago, so I have a perfect story to tell to illustrate this part and hopefully teach a lesson regarding the importance here of really choosing who you look up to for advice, for who you see as a figure of authority in this case. Anyways, let's get into a short finance story here. So, a few weeks ago, I went into the local bank branch at my hometown in Sweden. I had to move a pension from that account to my private banking account, and I went in to just get this done. So I figured I'd ask some general questions as well regarding some other finance topics and see what type of advice I would get. So they already knew that I was a resident in Ireland, and despite this fact, when I asked, alright, so what if I decide to move restricted stock units over to a Swedish bank? Would I be taxed on that? And the genius in the teller said, ask the Swedish tax authority. Oh, jeez. I don't even live in Sweden. I have a limited tax liability over there. Why would I ask a government branch that has zero authority over me a tax question? I mean, a proper answer would probably be to speak with an expert on the field, to defer to that, or to actually defer to the Irish tax authority, where it would make sense to ask, since they are the one who would tax me if it was a taxable event in this case. So just a big nonsense answer. And that's just one example. There were a few of those, and I think that the lady in question was maybe afraid to lose face and just say, I don't know that. Go ask that person, and just say, talk to somebody else about that. That's outside of my area of expertise. I'm here to open and close bank accounts and help people who have forgotten their PIN, and not here to help you answer these questions. But in some of these cases, I guess it's easier to just say an answer that sounds correctly, even though that might cause a big tax liability to someone down the line or cause trouble down the line. It's easier to just blurt something out. If I ask something to my private banker in this case and he doesn't know the answer, well, then he will just refer me to the proper place in that case, maybe set an appointment with a tax planner or something like that. But with the general teller, you're dealing with a person who maybe just finished senior high school, and then they put on some fancy clothes, a nice watch, do some basic education with the company, and then they just sell the local products, sell the premium bank accounts with extra fees, sell the own funds with higher management fee. They're basically there to sell more of the bank's own products, and they're not really there to actually guide you in the finance aspect, is the clear conclusion on this. It's been widely covered now on a lot of YouTube channels. I've done my own little experiment here as well. And I think the lesson to be learned here is to really be careful about who you look up to with regards to finance and stocks and all of these areas because they can be quite complex, and it's very difficult to know what's good knowledge and what is complete nonsense. I remember before I did my business school education, did a little bit of private banking and internships with markets in London. Then I looked up to the bank teller and thought, oh, these guys, they really know a lot about money. But 10 plus years down the line with a lot of knowledge in the bank, I just realized that these people know nothing and they just give terrible advice. So big red flag on that. Wanted to highlight that in this video with a little story. As always, hope you guys make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.